This was a feed mill south of Santa Rosa, with the center part of the mill quite heavily involved in fire. Multiple departments from the area responded, probably some 8 or 9 in all, including Bellevue, Pengrove, Rincon Valley, Roseland, Twin Hills, Hessel, and the Division of Forestry. These tankers are usually essentially homemade, so they don't follow a particular line. That looks like a Roseland tanker. This is a Bellevue unit. This is interesting. This is a portable water tank with the tankers discharging their load directly into the canvas portable tank and the pumpers drafting directly from it. You don't see that used very often. It was a very difficult fire in terms of getting to the seat of the fire itself, which was burning inside, and the grain and materials within the mill and back inside the walls. Large column of smoke. Had to work on the walls and strip away outside covering in order to try and get to the seat of the fire. Most of these men would be volunteers. There would be a few paid men in each department, but largely volunteers. Overhaul took a day or two, slowly tearing apart the ruins, put out the last of the fire. This was a laboratory serving the medical community. Did a variety of medical tests, had a lot of expensive equipment in the laboratory. Fire occurred on a Sunday. One of the workers was at the lab and an explosion of some type occurred. He was slightly burned, not seriously. But fire erupted immediately. The large body of fire there is coming from the attic area, which was full of storage material, boxes, and so on, and was apparently quite difficult to get to. Some question was raised whether there might be a natural gas line involved or broken. A number of hand lines, 1.5 inch lines were used, 5 or 6. This is along the south side of the building. Fire has involved the entire end of the building and spread into the attic and broken through the roof by this time. The fireman with the black helmet on the far left is probably a sleeper, a part-time sort of student fireman employed on weekends and evenings at that time in the department. Looks as if they're having problems getting really effective streams onto the fire. I talked later to the battalion chief and asked him whether he had thought about or planned using heavier lines, particularly going right into the attic area from the outside, but he felt that that wouldn't do any more than simply push the fire back right into the structure itself. That's the back door, which would be on the west end of the building, which is open now, but it was impossible to actually enter the burning area. The rooms were small, fully involved. This again is the west end of the building with the north end to our left. Fire still burning very vigorously up in the attic area. The fellow in the plaid shirt to the far left is a very nervous pathologist watching his business go up in smoke. A little slippery there on the roof. Fire spread down the west end, the west wall of the building from the attic. It's extending down. Firemen went after it with a hand line and quickly extinguished it. It's a major loss in this fire. They had a machine for doing panel laboratory tests in there, and the loss was somewhere between $250,000 and $750,000 million of damage, mostly because of the very expensive testing machines. And some bottles of gases that had ignited. Captain is cooling one down there. That the sleeper again with the black helmet.